all of a sudden I'm feeling this guidance to start engaging these certain practices. And I should add a little caveat here that these practices that were employed by Jesus and many other masters in the past who have gained supernatural abilities, these are high level energetic practices that one must be initiated to a certain point to even be able to engage in effectively. So you're only going to be able to open, certain high divine channels if you've done some of, the clearing work that's necessary to even allow that to happen. So for instance, the rites of the Moonai Key, shamanic initiation, is an incredible foundation, a beautiful energetic foundation and spiritual practice foundation for someone who's wanting to go on to these more advanced levels of practice. And so ultimately, these levels of practice guide us into balancing our masculine and feminine energies, awakening our Kundalini energy, turning on these high divine channels of energy, help us understand how to work with the divine feminine aspect of our creation in a new way. And Sri Kaleshwar, documented all of this and delivered, this series of mantra, yantra practices that one can utilize for a lot of different reasons other than just, gaining supernatural abilities. It's about healing. It's about coming into our wholeness. It's about holding more unconditional love in our field and allowing our field to come back into harmony with the divine, and allowing us to be powerful bridges, powerful channels for divine energy. So it's important to have a strong foundation of spiritual practice and to have had a strong foundation of healing work already occurring before you engage in these practices. So come to the June webinar if you're interested in this. At this point, if you're interested, join that so you can learn more. You'll hear more about my personal experience engaging these practices. But one reason you're not seeing normal podcast episodes right now is because I am deeply engaging these practices right now, and it is pushing me into a new level of transformation, new territory. So I'm giving that space. I have to give that space. And and I went to India because I got guided, because as I started these practices, I started having some experiences happen that were telling me I'm meant to go further on this path, and I'm meant to, just as I have been, with my other work so far and sharing about my journey, be transparent about what's possible and about the process of transforming into the new human. So I'm in the process of kind of activating these next level energies in my field. And when we do that, that also stirs up, any karma, any old programming that hasn't been dealt with, which is another reason why we want a really strong foundation of healing work having already occurred before we start to activate these systems. Because if we haven't done that, then we're going to open Pandora's box on all the healing that needs to occur, and that can be super intense. So we don't want to do that. So I'm giving space for these energetic shifts to occur, for any clearing to occur that needs to happen as I'm going through these systems. And I will say, thank goodness, I had the shamanic background before doing this. Again, I highly recommend that before, embarking on this level of practice. But these practices, ultimately are some of the most powerful mantras in the world that you could be using. And there's thousands of mantras out there, and they're all beautiful, but these are powerful for a specific reason, which we'll talk about more in June. And again, meant to bring us into that state of oneness, to help us ultimately identify and gain the awareness of ourselves as God at a deep cellular level, and to activate our connection with the elements in a new way, in a more profound way. And depending on, where you're at in your practice and journey, maybe ultimately, gaining command on the elements. And Sri Kaleshwar and his master, Shirdi Sai Baba, demonstrated high level supernatural abilities, like, manifesting physical objects in their hands, turning water to wine, that sort of stuff. Miraculous physical healings is part of that. So we have an example of what's possible in recent modern times that is, exactly like what Jesus demonstrated. And we know now Jesus is not the only one on the planet, right, that could do those things, that carried such high divine energies. But Jesus was an ultimate kind of example of that. So we have recent examples of human beings activating dormant abilities, activating dormant DNA, becoming one with the creation energies in a way that allows a human to manifest in much more powerful, profound ways. So I'm on this journey right now of engaging these mantras and already having some really beautiful experiences with it. And it's important that, I don't spill all the beans on exactly what's happening with me while I'm in it. But, I did want to share, that I'm in this process, it's happening, I'm giving it space, and I fully intend to share more as time goes on. And this is one reason I went to India, because I got guided. And I'll share one just fun example of the divine support that is available to us that I experienced prior to this trip. And then I'll share more in June and later, once I'm through kind of the meat of the process that I'm in. But I booked this trip really fast. Like, I got the guidance. It was clear I'm supposed to go. I'm thinking, how am I going to do this? I'm going to India by myself. Really? I'm going to this remote town in the mountains by myself. How am I going to do this? And anyway, I reach out to the ashram that Sri Kaleshwar built when he was alive. And I'm, checking on the possibility of certain dates. Like, what are the possibilities? And long story short, it happens, it falls into place super easily. I'm clearly being guided for this to happen. I'm going to be the only one there at the time. And so I say yes to spirit again, and I go. But the day before I'm supposed to go, I'm in my morning meditation. I'm doing my mantra practice. I'm meditating. All of a sudden I hear, don't forget the visa. And I think, oh shit. Oh no, you're supposed to have a visa to go to India. Totally forgot. Like, just, it had been a whirlwind. A lot was going on. I'm already experiencing transformation because of, these practices. And now I'm thinking, oh no, am I going to postpone the trip? What's happening? Should I try to go? Sure. Like, surely I should just try to go. So yeah, I apply for a visa online really quickly, and they don't even have my date available for when I'm landing, so I'm too late. And I'm thinking, oh great, here we go. So then I catch myself and I think, you know what? I know miracles are possible. I've got an awesome non-physical support team. I'm now working with this Indian saint in spirit, I think, and I'm just going to ask for help, because I know this is possible. If I'm meant to go, I'll go. If I'm meant to go, the visa will come through, it'll be fine. If I'm not, maybe I'm not meant to go. So I just hold the intention of, this is happening. If this is meant to happen, it's going to happen. I call on the team. I call on Sri Kaleshwar. I ask for help. I say, I forgot. I need help. Help me get there. If this is supposed to happen, help me get there easily, safely, all the things. The next morning, I'm boarding the shuttle to go to the airport, and I get an email that says my visa has come through in less than 24 hours. And so that was miracle number one. And it has been a beautiful experience of starting to understand more of what is possible. already did. And I obviously teach about manifestation already, and these, energetic transformation processes that help us clear distortion and call back our soul's power and, come back into empowerment. That's what it's all about. But there's a next level that can be achieved. And so that's why I'm giving the talk in June, to introduce people further to what I'm engaging in now, to introduce you further to Sri Kaleshwar, and to begin your initiation into this lineage, and to help you start to engage these practices in a way that will be supportive for you if it feels right on your journey. Or if you just want to learn more about my journey and how I'm navigating them, I'm an open book, and we'll talk about that.